How difficult is it to be an artist? Leave it. I nipped down to Helston to meet Zoe Cameron and ask her that very same thing.
Well, how old were you when you picked up a brush?
I must have been, probably secondary school is when I started to realise it was most important.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that people are born soldiers or nurses, or I think you were a teacher of art.
Yeah, I did do some of that, yeah.
Yeah, so you can teach people technique.
Yes.
But the ones that are born artists take that on board and go on to become artists.
Yes, I think it's easier if you know what you want to do when you're younger, because I think then you have a target. I think it's harder if you're good at everything. Art was the only thing I was really any good at. You know, I certainly wasn't going to do anything in sports or.
Right.
You know, those are the sort of things I avoided. My uncle was a painter, you see. And my grandmother did a lot of drawing and wrote little stories, and so I think probably it was a family around me. And the books that I looked at, my grandmother used to have a lot of art books, and I used to look at beautiful paintings, Botticelli and things. Yep. So I think that's probably it. Rather than producing my own work that was brilliant, sometimes I'd be pleased with what I did. It was more to do with striving to make things that were as beautiful as those I'd seen. Really. Yes. That was what I would say.
And it's the story of...
Man's lust for glory clouds judgment.
Right.
Very relevant nowadays.
Yeah.
It's a story, it's one of Aesop's fables, and it's the story of the lion who's hungry. He persuades the fox to go into the woods and persuade the deer to come and see him. Right. Now the deer doesn't know that he wants him to be dinner.
Right.
The deer thinks he's being asked to become king of the jungle or king of the forest. Yep. And so off the fox goes, persuades the deer to come in to see the lion. The lion goes for him, hurts him, but the deer gets away, goes back into the forest. Then the fox persuades him again to come back.
Right.
And the next time he comes back, he becomes the dinner. Because this is the deer here, and this is the lion ready to go for the neck.
Oh.
And there is the fox eating the heart of the deer. So it's a terrible story.
No!
It's a terrible story, but it's the story of how blind we are to power and glory, and what people will ignore in order to gain
the crown.
The crown, yeah. Well, I mean, each of these children are animals. So this one is the little pig.
Oh yeah.
That
Tiger?
One, that one is.
No.
I don't know. I can't remember what a panther was.
Tiger.
Tiger. That's right. A leopard and a bear.
Yeah.
And of course, people are keen to take you to trouble because it means that they're not the ones in the trouble, and they're sort of kept out of it. Yeah. So it's a really valuable story.
Fantastic.
One of those little angels up there is my sister's little girl. See, so I use different people and different. On the left hand side, the bottom one on the left, with that little gold sort of flame coming off her.
To bits. She's chuffed to bits. You can't get Dave the dog in there, can you?
I could.
It's fantastic. I love the colours you use, and I noticed in your biography that you have travelled around a bit.
Yes.
And has anywhere influenced you more than other places? I mean,
Italy's the place that I love best.
I thought that there's a bit of Italian kind of style in some of your work, would you say?
Yes, I love all that sort of massive, sort of emotional, rococo sort of groups of religious people, you know, in some of the paintings you see over there. And the church and the cathedral paintings and the all over, the frescoes, the quality of the work, all of that. And it's all about people. Yeah. So it's perfect for me. Really.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be one of the first things you'd teach artists to say, right, go travelling first and have a look around and see what's out there, and then bring home a bit of this or a bit of that? Isn't that all?
Oh yeah, I think looking at a good artwork is really important if you're studying, because you've got to have something to measure your own work by.
Absolutely.
And even and that's the hard thing in a way about living in Cornwall in some regard, in that you don't always see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Because it tends to go to London or big cities.
Sure, yeah.
But we do have the Tate down here, and we have, I mean, I'm a great lover of the Penlee.
Right,
In
okay.
Penzance.
Yeah.
Beautiful paintings they've got down there, you know, Chooks and all of that.
Yeah.
And same with Falmouth Museum have some good Cornish painters.
That's Lord Bath.
It is.
Yeah.
It is Lord Bath.
Friend of yours?
Well, he bought one of my paintings a long time ago, when I not long left college, and then later on I was fortunate enough to do his portrait, and this is the study that remains. He has I did a big painting of him and his dog Boudica.
Oh yeah.
And it stands at the top of his stairs going up to his apartments in
Oh,
Longleat.
fantastic! Yeah. And you like working with animals and?
What, painting them? Yes, I was.
Not ploughing.
No. Animals were part of my childhood, and I think they're most, you know, certainly our generation, they were part of your childhood. There was a lot of animals about, you know, dogs and cats and guinea pigs and all of that. It wasn't. We didn't worry about hygiene so much then.
Yeah.
And so.
Who does now?
No, some people do. And so, you know, it was a part of my life, and I loved the company of animals and taking care of them.
Right.
So
Yeah. How long would something like that take to paint the big one?
Oh gosh, it took an awfully long time. It's a struggle when you make big paintings. Because if you make big paintings and they go wrong, it's a lot of wrong. It really does. Yeah, it's a big mistake. And so it takes and physically it takes it out of you.
Yeah.
These paintings here take it out of me physically, because I have to do them up a ladder. Or I've got some steps. The builders made me some steps. But you're still balancing. So
it's an unnatural position.
It is, and you
get
get down and you feel quite exhausted, because obviously it's easier if you're doing something like this. You can stand and sit.
Some of the great things were done upside down, though, weren't they?
But they did themselves permanent damage, of course, you know, to their necks.
And I often wondered about lighting as well.
Oh, yeah.
Would there be
Candle?
smoke everywhere?
Yes.
You have to clean it. I don't know how they did it.
No, I'm not. It's a remarkable thing, and also just the feat of being able of actually doing it. Something like ceiling paintings.
But aren't big paintings just the best?
That's a man thing.
Is it? Is it a size thing?
Yeah, I think it's about shouting and whispering.
Is it though?
You know, I think it depends.
Excuse me.
Sometimes it's a good thing, isn't it?
I think it's stunning, isn't it, when you go into a gallery and there's a massive 20-foot painting.
It is. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It does, and also, of course, it turns the figure from being this size to being more than life size, and so that immediately has an impact.
It's imposing, isn't it? Yeah.
You feel like you're meeting the person, don't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, rather than looking through a window.
Yeah.
Down here, I'm a great lover of the Newlyn School painters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like. This St Ives. I like things like Christopher Wood's paintings. You know, it's slightly naive, beautiful paintings. You know, some of the St Ives painters. But really, no, I wouldn't say any particular one.
Would you say that you're prolific? I think that you can't put your brush down, can you? There's a lot going on here, isn't there? Isn't it?
Well, I think the thing is, though, if you've been doing it for a long time, which I have, you gather quite a lot of paintings. I'm not a very fast painter.
Right.
My friend Julian Dyson, who died, did you know Julian Dyson?
Rings a bell.
Yeah, he died, some time ago now. But he was a great friend, and we used to speak on the phone, and he was a great one for doing 3 at a time.
Okay.
You know, but I was never able to achieve that. I'm just a sort of one painting at the time girl. Yeah.
So you will finish one.
Yes.
And that goes
because there are often complex layers in each painting.
Yeah.
And if that is disturbed, if that water's disturbed, I lose my track.
Yes. Okay.
And so now I just tend to stick with one. That painting actually is significant. I've got it out at the moment because it was inspired by my aunt.
Right.
As a child, my grandmother, that's the dog.
Yes.
My grandmother showed me. I don't know what they're called. Some binoculars where you could put some slides in.
Right.
And everything looks 3-dimensional.
Yes.
Do you know those?
I do know those.
Very old.
I do know those things. Yeah.
Well, she gave me some of those, and when I looked through these little glasses, there was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen, and it was my aunt preparing for a wedding day at the table, at the dressing table,
Right.
all in her outfit, you know, with the white veil and the white dress.
Yeah.
And of course it was a distant memory, so I can't remember exactly what she looked like, but it inspired that painting. And at the moment she's very ill, so that's another...
Right.
That's why I brought it out. She's in America, so...
Right. Yeah, I said some of your figures, they're quite chunky. They've got
They are.
They've got a bit of beef on them, haven't they?
Oh yeah, well you don't want, you know, I'll be honest with you, when I was at college and we used to get a thin model, it was always a bit disappointing because when they laid down you just get toes, knees, hips,
Right, yeah,
shoulders and nose.
Yeah.
You know, I prefer something fleshy.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm a Marilyn Monroe fan.
Oh well then you're alright with
We
my
are.
paintings. And actually, it's reality, isn't it really?
I think it is, yeah. Yeah, all these stick
Fleshy
people.
women.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
normal.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, not half.